Hey guys, Steve here at Not Club 33 coming at you from the office today with a little bit of a different video. Today we're going to be talking about my Disney Visa card from Chase Bank. Let's get into it. For starters, there are multiple flavors of this card. There's the Premier and the Standard. The Premier will come with a $49 annual fee and the Standard $0 annual fee. However, these are actually both the same card, and one of the perks of both cards is that you can switch the card design up whenever you choose, and that costs no dollars at all. Let's get into the meat and potatoes though of what this card actually does. We'll talk about the benefits that both cards have first. Let's talk about why you probably clicked on this video, and it's the perks. The perks of these cards come with things like the character meetups at Disneyland and Disney World, namely the Star Wars meetups. You get those as a Disney Visa card holder, whether you have the Premier, the debit card, or just the basic standard credit card from Chase as the Disney Visa. You get access to those character meet and greets. You also get 10% back on merch. So if you go to a gift shop, you're going to save 10% there. You're going to get 10% on select dining locations, my favorite use for the card. So if you're going to sit down and get a meal and you've got a big bill, 10% off. 15% off your guided tours. So if you pay for a tour at either Disneyland or Disney World, 15% off, and 20% off of Joffrey's coffee. So those are some of the things you get at the parks that the cards have in common. There's other stuff, but those are the main things. And for those of you who like cruising, you will save 10% there as well. 10% off your photo packages. You'll get 20% off at the spa on board. There's 10% off on the private islands, on some of the retail merch that you can buy out the private islands, 10% there. So the Disney Cruise Line, they didn't forget about you there as well. So that is another big bonus for both of these cards. Also, Alani, Vero Beach, Hilton Head, 10% off at some retail shops. And you can kind of see on the screen here where there's 10% off. Look at Alani here. There's some activities and whatnot. So there's some other categories there that you can save on your next Disney trip. So I've had this card for several years. I have the free version, just the standard Chase Disney Visa, and it's okay. This isn't a card that I actually keep in my wallet. I got a ton of cards. Yeah, these are all my credit cards. Yes, they're all active. I use them when I need to. But of all those cards, only two make the cut for staying in my wallet on a regular basis. This card isn't one of them, and here's why. First of all, 1% cash back is your earnings. So you earn 1% on everything. So if you spend $1, you get a penny. $100, you get $1. So whether you're making a Disney purchase or gas or groceries or whatever, you'll get 1% cash back. In the credit card space, that's pretty low, especially considering other free, no annual fee cards have 2% cash back, like the City Double Cash, and there are countless others that are even 1.25 or 1.5. So one is extremely low, and that's all you get with this no annual fee Disney Standard card. We'll talk about the Premier in a second. The other thing that I hate is that you have to redeem using this Disney redemption card. You see this thing? So you get your points, you save up or whatever, and then you end up, say you got $50 in redemptions. Well, this card here is how they are redeemable. The only problem with this is you can only use this online at the Disney store or in the Disney parks in the United States. So if you want to go to Disneyland Paris or Tokyo or Shanghai or anywhere else that's not in the United States, this card is absolutely worthless to you. So if this is the only way you can redeem, then you're locked in with the US Disney parks and the Vero Beaches and the Hilton Heads and the Alanis out there. You can't even use this card for the Disney bundle. So no Hulu, no ESPN, and obviously no Disney Plus. Kind of ridiculous. Lastly, foreign transaction fees. So this is a Chase card. It's a Visa, which is accepted worldwide anywhere you travel. Except for if you do use this card, you'll be charged a foreign transaction fee, which for a global company, that's kind of ridiculous, especially considering Even the Amazon Prime card that Chase offers has no foreign transaction fees. In fact, any travel card out there that's worth its salt doesn't charge you a foreign transaction fee because, you might travel. So this one charging you fees to use it overseas is absolutely absurd to me. So I obviously don't keep it in my wallet. I use my Capital One Venture X card. In fact, any Capital One card at all doesn't have a foreign transaction fee, so you could use any of them. So that's why I prefer not to actually keep this card in my wallet on a daily basis, but I'll tell you why I don't cancel it coming up in a bit. All right, so let's talk about the elevated card, the Disney Premier. It'll cost you $49 per year in an annual fee, but you do get some bonuses off that. So if you're into the Disney bundle, you will save 5% cash back. You'll get 5% cash back for Disney bundle purchases. I think at the time of recording, the most expensive Disney bundle purchase is $24.99 a month. That's for the no commercials Disney Plus and Hulu, with ESPN Plus included as well. So $24.99 a month, times that by 12, times it by 5%, and that saves you a whopping $14.99 per year in cash back. So it might sound like it's a nice little offer, but really it's saving you $15. It really isn't much, especially considering you can get other cards that pay you back for all streaming services. So you can throw in your Netflix and your Peacocks, like my Capital One Saver card that I keep in my wallet. That one gives me 3% back on all entertainment, so concerts and sports tickets, anything, and I can get way more than $15 in value out of it a year. So this is another reason I just don't keep that in my wallet. All right, so the big bonus on the Premier Visa is the 2% back on Disney purchases, gas, groceries, and restaurants. But if you kind of caught the drift that I just gave you, that's really not that great, considering that my Capital One Saver card again gets 3% back on all those categories besides the gas. But if I go to Disney, that's entertainment, so I get 3% back. And that card has no annual fee, and in order to get this 2% elevated, I'd have to pay $49. So the Disney Premier Visa does give you 1% cash back on all other spend. So if it's not gas, groceries, restaurants, or a Disney purchase, you will get 1% back. The other big bonus is, remember that rewards card we were talking about a little bit ago? This guy. Well, you do get one of these if you want one. But on the elevated Disney Premier Visa, if you pay that $49, you can get your points out of Disney jail, kinda. You're allowed to pay yourself back for Disney purchases. So anything in the United States that you purchase via Disney or Disney.com, or your Hulu and stuff like that, you can pay yourself back as a statement credit. And also you can do that for airline tickets. So that is a little bit of a bonus. But the only thing is you only get 90 days to do so. On day 91, your only option, back to jail. So do I recommend this card? Well, it's kind of a tough question because, yeah, I've had this card for years, but I don't use it particularly often. Maybe I'd recommended it for people that do travel to the Disney parks in the United States often. Yeah, I would recommend you get it just because you're going to save 10% off on certain dining locations, and that can be a big chunk of change. Like for me, with a family of 3, if I go to a nice sit down at Disney World and it's $100 a person, that's $30 saved. So why not? This card is $0, so I just saved $30 for doing very little. That being said, the use cases are niche. This, remember, is just a Disney card. It's not a travel card. So if I want to use this to gain things like lounge access at the airport, you can see this cool lounge we had last time we were traveling to the Dominican, where my daughter had a pool to splash around in while we waited for our flight. Or if I want to cash in points and travel this Hilton here that you see in the Dominican, where you cash in points and travel for cheap. You can't really do that with the Disney Visa. You're going to need a plethora of other different options out there, and there are better options for that. So I can't recommend this for somebody that is looking to do non-Disney activities. But if you are super big into Disney, obviously use our link below to help out the channel, because that referral link, we can put money back into this here channel. So what do I use this for? What's my main use case? So yeah, it's dining. I did mention the character meet and greets that you get at Disneyland and Disney World, but those I don't really use it for. Certain times we get the merch, the 10% off's nice, but I don't buy a lot of souvenirs. So this really just sits around in my kind of credit card holding stockpile until I make a trip to one of the Disney parks, and then I pull it out, put it in my wallet, and it becomes useful at that time. One pro tip that I will give you about this card is that it can be used in conjunction with a Disney gift card. Why is that important? Well, if you've watched this channel, we talked to you guys about going to Target and getting Disney gift cards. First of all, you need to sign up for the Target Red Card, which you can do absolutely free. And then all your purchases at Target are now 5% off. This is a no-brainer. So if you haven't done it, pause this video and go sign up for the Target Red Card. So if you go into Target, you find the Disney card, you get 5% off the card. Or if you go online and you buy a Disney gift card for $500, well, it's only going to cost you $475 at checkout. Why is that important? Well, if I get 10% off my meal on the Disney campus and I have a Disney gift card with some money on it, I'll come in there and I'll hand the waiter both of these cards and say, go ahead and exhaust my gift card and put the rest on my Disney Visa card. Now, this isn't what they're necessarily supposed to do, but every time I've done this, I get my 10% off my overall meal, and then they put the rest on. They exhaust my Disney gift card, which I got 5% off on, and then they put a small amount remaining on my Disney gift card or on my Disney credit card, and I save nearly 15% by just doing that. So that's my one pro tip for you. It's kind of the hack to get nearly 15% off of select dining locations on your Disney stay. So with that being said, do I recommend it? Sure, get it. It's free to do so. And if you use our link for any of the cards that I mentioned today, down in the description below, it really helps out our channel while you're down there. Leave us a comment. Tell us about your Disney Visa experiences, or ask us any questions you want and we'll try to answer them. Consider subscribing, and if you're crazy, turn on those notifications. Oh, and like the video, because it really bumps us up in YouTube's algorithm, and we appreciate you guys for watching. For everybody here at Knot Club 33, my name is Steve. Peace.